reflections that lie there in that old curiosity
Fountain, so come with me, we'll go. The hens lay soft-boiled eggs. The farmer's tree.
Good morning, everyone, or good evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and it's morning here in not quite rural New Jersey. I am a native New Jerseyan. My home is in Philadelphia, but I've crossed the Ben Franklin Bridge over the Delaware River, and I'm here in lovely New Jersey to do a little sourcing. Now, notice I didn't say thrifting. When I'm out sourcing, I'm not always at thrift shops. I'll source anywhere, including back alleys on trash day. So what I'd like to start off by saying is welcome. There's just a truckload of new subscribers because I'm hoping that you get excited and enjoy the thrill of the hunt. That's what's so exciting to me. Now, of course, I sell for profit, but there's that excitement on a freezing cold morning. You get up at 4 o'clock and you head for that. You drive an hour and you drink bad coffee, and then you finally get there and wham! She whips out a Tiffany lamp and you're the first one to grab it. Well, that hasn't happened to me yet. Aww. Not with a Tiffany lamp. But you get the idea. It's just the excitement of it. Okay, he's rambling again, but I've got 5 minutes before the store opens. I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes, but if you are a new subscriber, let me just introduce myself and say I do this. I love it. I have so much fun with it. I learn from you guys as subscribers all the time, so it's kind of an interactive thing. My love is of the 1920s and 30s. Always has been, always will be. And that's where I like to focus. But I will buy and sell things from the 20s into the early 60s. Every once in a while, I'll dip into the 70s. I do enjoy making fun of a good avocado green refrigerator. But most of the time, it's 20s, 30s, and 40s, and a little bit of 50s and 60s. And I do like to go back into the Victorian era as well. Anything beyond that, I have no interest. So don't get mad at me if I walk right by a Vera Bradley basket and a Longer Burger pocketbook. Because wait, that didn't sound right. You know what I mean. Now, don't get mad. I'm not making fun of Vera Bradley pocketbooks or Longer Burger baskets. I'm just not into them. And I like to leave that for somebody else to find and enjoy. Okay, so you'll see me walk by modern things that are worth money that were made in the 90s and the 2000s. And I don't buy and sell those items. I have no cognizance of their value or when they were made. It just doesn't float my boat. It's not my cup of tea. So I leave that to other thrifters to enjoy. Me, it's the antiques, anything, well, I've already said all that. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? I'm sure I'll think of it in a minute once I get inside.
Hey everyone, I just want to show you a piece of Tierra glass, which actually still has its label on it. So we can see they're a Tierra exclusive. And remember, they made this glass in the 1980s, and it mimics depression glass of the 1930s, but it's easy to tell, even without the label, that it's not from the 30s. But I just wanted to show you one with a label on it. A little divided child's plate, and then up here is another one, and this one is actually marked in the glass Tierra. So those are reproductions. Now that's the real thing. That's a depression piece. Frosted glass, and it's painted, but it's all chipped up around the edge, and they usually are. And then once again, and I didn't just put these here, but There's another one, and I see these in probably almost every thrift store that I go into. Either the Flora Gold or the Iris and Herringbone, I'm sorry, Iris, by Jeanette. Okay, so I'm going to pick up what I did purchase and head for the cash register. Oh, here's a poor little torn up piece of modern tone. Bless its modern tone heart. Look everyone, this is just interesting to see this original label here. Now this is not old, because we can see this says Czech Republic on it. Bohemia Czech Republic lead crystal over 24%. 24% Bohemia Czech Republic. So just wanted to show you that. They're still making lead crystal, and they're still making it in the Czech Republic. And there it is with its label. Okay. Oh, I bought something. Let's go out in the car and I'll show you. No. No. Not for all the barkeeper's friend in the world. Put this down. Poor thing.
You're as funny as a cry for help.
Look at these, everybody. Did you see my video 2 or 3 days ago? I had that really neat Art Deco console bowl with all the bubbles and the sort of bubbled wings. Wouldn't these just match it beautifully? I wish they weren't etched, because the bubble bowl that I have isn't etched. But this, can't you see these on either side of that console bowl? How much are they? They're $4 each. I don't know. Just thought I'd show you that. That, everyone, is the old Divine Lorraine Hotel. As it was, well, it was the Lorraine Hotel when it was built. And then Father Divine, if you don't remember him, look him up in your history books. He bought it, and in the 1930s, this was one of his, well, I don't want to say communal homes, but I guess that's basically what it was. If you were a follower of Father Divine, you could live here and eat for free. He actually ran for president in the 1930s. Interesting character. Anyway, the green light, gotta go.
Followers pay but $2 for a whole week's lodging. But Father Divine is chiefly celebrated for the unfailing regularity with which he feeds his flock.
To those of you that are daily attendants, you realize this is not something out of the ordinary. This is a daily occurrence. That men might understand the abundance of the fullness is a living reality if they can and will concentrate on it.
Okay, everyone, it's time for me to get inside before I get blown all the way to Kansas. Boy, that wind is wicked today. I did buy a few things, and I'm going to go inside now and show you what I purchased. So, stay tuned. My goodness, the winter wind doth blow. Is that grammatically correct? Well, it's cold up here in the Northeast, but it's not snowing today. And I know a lot of my good southern friends, especially in North Carolina, received snow. This is Friday. I think the snow is melting. But I know you got snow last night. And I think all the schools were closed in North Carolina today, which is so much fun. I went to college and graduate school in North Carolina. I moved there when I was 17. I hadn't yet turned 18, just before I started college. And then I ended up actually staying in North Carolina for many, many, many years after college and graduate school. And I have a lot of good friends in North Carolina. And I just remember how exciting it was when it would snow. And it does snow in North Carolina. So anyway, be careful on the roads down there in North Carolina, and there's snow in other parts of the country too. But here, in the city of brotherly love, it's just cold and windy.
I'm going to show you what I bought today, and this is somewhat unusual because you don't see my face, I'm usually on the kitchen counter with everything on the granite countertop, and I just sort of get behind the camera and talk about it. But shaking it up just a little bit, to keep things lively. Now there's no coffee, I'm actually having some root beer this afternoon. Why? Because I had some in the refrigerator and I wanted to finish it. So that's what I'm having is root beer. What are you having? Okay, let's see what he got. Okay, don't be so dramatic. I'm going to save like the most exciting thing to me for the very end and show you everything else first. Anchor Hocking made two colors that aren't patterns, but they're colors. And they either patented it or copyrighted it. One is Royal Ruby Red and the other is Forest Green. You've all seen it. Very popular in the 1940s and 50s. I bought 16 of these. So I've broken them down into two auctions of 8 and 8. So you can get a lot of 8 and another lot of 8 to someone else, or you can buy all 16. They're little tiny juice glasses. There was a larger pitcher that you could have bought with these. And these are, absolutely perfect for orange juice or what have you. So these are currently up for auction in the Old Curiosity Shop right now. I'm going to tell you what's listed and what's not. Those are. This is not because I just haven't listed it yet. Remember the other day we were talking about the difference between Falstoria's America pattern and a pattern called Cube that was put out by the Jeanette Company. Now, the Falstoria American, that stuff was produced, from like I'm going to get the dates wrong, but something like 1910 to 1980, just almost for the entire century, America was produced. And then even when Falstoria wasn't making it, somebody else was making it because they had the molds. The guy that designed it left Falstoria, went to Jeanette, and he created Cube. It's the same designer, and again, I forget his name, but it's in 2 or 3 videos ago. And I explained in that video how you could kind of tell the difference between Falstoria and Jeanette, so we won't go through that again. But this is the Jeanette. And it's the cube pattern in just traditional depression green. It will fluoresce. It's got uranium in it. And it was only made from, I want to say 1928 to 1932 or 33. It's an early depression glass pattern. One of those that predates the stock market crash. This is early. And no, this stuff is always chipped. Not a chip, flea bite, or roughness on any of these little points. It's just a little vegetable bowl. Not a great deal of value. I might even keep it because I really do like Jeanette's Cube. Even more so than Falstoria, although they look a lot alike. Now, while I'm drinking my root beer, I'm snacking on salted peanuts. No ginger snap today. And I'm eating them out of a uranium glass sherbet, and this is in a sort of what they call, you'll hear it called Tree of Life, but it's actually crackle glass. Now, not the crackle glass of the 1960s where the glass is actually crackled. This is a late 20s pattern where the crackle is an embossed pattern. These were pressed in a mold. They have 2 mold lines on them. And the inside is completely smooth except for the peanuts, but the crackle is on the outside. And there's uranium, they fluoresce. I can't remember who made these. I've seen it attributed to L.E. Smith, and I want to say that I think L.E. Smith made these. So why am I telling you all about this? I only have 2 of these. I like them. And I'm not selling these, but today, while I was in the Goodwill, I found 4 small bread and butter plates, dessert plates. These could even be underplates for the sherbet cups. So here they are. They're not saucers. They're the exact same pattern, same company and everything. As you can see, perfect underplate for the sherbet cups. So there they are. I paid 99 cents each and I bought 4 of them. And I like this pattern. So I'm just gonna keep sort of collecting it and not necessarily part with it yet. So those won't be for sale yet. This will be, but it's not listed yet. Because this is something else I just got. It's Fenton. It's an embossed, there are daffodils embossed on this, which you can see. And this is blown in a mold. It's blown in a mold, pressed in a mold, and that's how Fenton made it. The ponsil is ground off, polished off, and it's just a beautiful piece of cranberry glass with a crimped top. And someone didn't actually take a wrench or something and put all these crimps in. While this is attached to the rod, the blow rod, the pole, it's lowered down into a crimping mold, and someone else pulls a lever and it crimps it, and they pull it out, and the crimps are in it. But it is all handmade Fenton glass, a really pretty vase. So this is going to be listed soon, but again, it's just not up in the shop yet. Okay, so this is not up in the shop yet either, but it probably has no value. I paid, I think, $3 for it, and I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it, because I'm from South Jersey, where if you are not from this area in the Northeast of the United States, you might not think of Jersey as being a producer of corn, but Jersey corn is famous around this part of the country, probably not in other parts of the country, but wonderful sweet corn is grown in New Jersey, southern New Jersey, and it is some of the best corn on the cob you'll ever eat. So I grew up eating a lot of South Jersey corn, and I just fell in love with this. It looks very late 40s. It definitely looks, after the war, but pre-60s. So I'm going to say late 40s into the early 50s. And I'll just let you look at the box. And it's, what does it say? Serve Right Corn Service Set. Okay, and so it is made of an early plastic, a synthetic. And it's all brand new in the box. I don't think it was ever used, and it's just cheap plastic, but look at how fun this is. Let's make it, is it gonna fall out? It's not gonna fall out. So here's the butter dish. Okay, can you see? I love this. And then the individual corn plates and the little spears to hold your corn if you don't want to put your hands on it. And then these 2 little sets of salt and pepper shakers and 4 little trays. And it's just never been used. And if anything screams like backyard picnic table, summertime, corn on the cob, this is just fantastic. So I haven't even decided yet. I don't know. Anybody want to buy it? I might at least keep it and use it next summer, and then maybe then sell it. I don't know yet. But I like that. Okay. So now the next 3 things that I'm going to show you are currently listed in the Old Curiosity Shop. Sorry, and they are up for sale right now. A wonderful plate made in the 1920s or 30s. Porcelain made in Japan. It's escaping this brain right now, but it was swimming around in here at one point, and now I forget. So the maker style, I don't know, but made in Japan, 1920s, 30s, and it's that sort of typical, a lot of people call that a bird of paradise. Whether it is or not, I don't know. Haven't gotten to paradise yet. I don't know what the birds are going to look like when we get there. But it's beautiful. It has a very thick enamel on it. And there are some of these floating around on the net. You can, look them up. But that's for auction just for a couple of bucks. I don't often find things with shamrocks on them. And I'm not Irish, so I wouldn't know a shamrock if it spit on me. The only reason I know these are shamrocks is because it says so on the back. But with St. Patrick's Day coming, I had to pick this up. So there are the shamrocks. It's just a plate. I don't know, can you see that? I'm trying to see if you can see that. There we go. Spode. See it? Hope it's not reversed. And it's just a beautiful dinner plate with shamrocks on it. I think it's from the 30s. Just one plate, so I don't know. Maybe someone of Irish heritage would like this to serve their, what are those things? Irish potatoes? I mean, it's some kind of like a candy thing. It's real sweet. You know what it is. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. And wouldn't it be great to serve them on this spode plate? That's up for sale in the old curiosity shop. So is this, which is beautiful. It's EAPG, early American pattern glass, pressed glass. And it's a bowl. But it's not just a clear glass bowl. You can see it's ruby stained or ruby flashed, and it's been gilded. So, boy, this is really over the top, and the sun is going in now. You can't see it as well. There are no chips or cracks on it. There are no scratches on it. All the ruby staining is really good. The gilding is very nice. I don't know the pattern or the maker, but it's one of the makers, one of the many makers of early American pressed glass in the United States. And it's just, I had to buy it because it's just such a beautiful bowl. What do you think? And turn of the century to 1910, 1915. We've talked before about how this was going out of style, went out of style in the 20s. And could even be earlier, that could be 1890s. There was a lot of souvenir glass. If you went to the Atlantic City Boardwalk in the summer of 1889, you could buy a little creamer and it would say, Atlantic City 1889, Mildred, if that was your name. You could have anything put on it, Love Mom, what, Uncle Henry. And it was often ruby stained or ruby flashed the way this bowl is. And a lot of it was made in the 1880s and 1890s. So really good condition, and that's for sale in the old curiosity shop. Now, finally, if you're still watching, how long is this video? 2 hours? The last two things I'm going to show you, I almost got, everybody say it with me, detached retina when I saw this, but actually that's not totally honest, because when I saw it, I wasn't certain what it was. I knew it was good, and then when I got it home and did some research, then I got detached retina. Now let me do this in two, hold on. Let's talk about Roseville pottery. Made in Ohio. Was it Zanesville, Ohio? I better not say because I'm going to get it wrong. Where was Roseville made? Somewhere in Ohio. I'm sorry if it wasn't Zanesville and I messed that up. You are used to seeing Roseville that looks like this. Now, this is not what gave me detached retina. That's just a typical piece of Roseville from the 1930s, 40s, somewhere between the two wars. This is a really nice piece, and I am going to sell it. It's just not up for auction yet. It's got bleeding hearts on it. I think that's what the flower is. You know I'm not good with that. And collectors know the Roseville mark. I've been doing this for 35 years. Yes, I started in my teens. And so, and we all know Roseville has gone, like 50% less than what you could get prior to 2008. But it's beautiful pottery. This one is a great big, I guess, console bowl, or could go on your mantelpiece or whatever. Probably had matching candlesticks, and it's in great shape. I am going to sell it, it's just not ready yet. But I wanted to show you this piece of Roseville so that we could contrast it to this. What is it? It's Roseville. Now, I have to admit, hold on for a second. I have a peanut stuck in my... You have a sip too of whatever it is you're drinking. I completely forgot about this line of Roseville. So just get to it and tell everybody. Okay, it's the Futura line of Roseville. It's what's called a middle pattern. They produced this from the late 20s into the early 30s. And I have to admit, it's unmarked. So when I saw it, I said, okay, I like it. It's kind of Art Deco. Well, it is Art Deco. But this pink and gray is a very 1950s color scheme. And when I saw it, I said, you know, I'm going to buy it. It's just a nice little inexpensive vase, probably from the 50s. Pink and black, pink and green. I'm sorry, pink and gray. I wasn't even thinking Roseville 1928. It's not, because it's not marked. Got it home, did my research, and the Futura line, I'm going to insert some pictures. But you can go online and look. It's so over the top. Some of it is over the top Art Deco, highly collectible, still holds its value, really good value on it. And there are several other pieces. It was a huge line. And Futura meaning, you know, a futuristic design, which is what Art Deco was. Streamlined, you know, speed, modernism, all of that stuff. And that's what this is. So, it's Roseville. It was made between the late 20s into the early 30s. It is pink and gray. It's called the Pleated Star. And it was never, none of it was marked. The Roseville from that period, the late 20s into the mid 30s, was not marked. It had foil labels on it. Foil, you know, I'm going to insert a photograph. So, and they always fall off. This one was gone. So I just didn't know what it was until I got it home. Now, I am going to sell it after all that. I'm a collector of things, but I'm not a hoarder. And I like a very simple, sort of uncluttered interior. If you'll notice, like without this thing of peanuts, there are no little knick-knack paddywhacks up there on this bookcase. So I don't like a cluttered interior. I'm selective with what I collect. But you know me well enough to know if this were cream and green, it wouldn't be going anywhere because I love me some 1930s cream and green. I like the pink and gray, but I'm going to sell it. What does it sell for? Well, one of them recently sold for $250. Another one that had a little bit of damage on it sold for about $120. This one has, let me show you. We turn it upside down. It's chipped on the bottom. And when it's sitting on the table like this, you really don't see it, do you? You just see just the hint of that chip on the base. It doesn't even extend up into the glaze, but the base is chipped, even though it's really not seen. But collectors are very, I don't want to use the word picky, they are, is it discerning? You know, so hey, that's going to hurt it a little bit even though that's on the bottom. I have it listed for $99 at an auction for the minimum bid. I just listed it. We'll see what it does. If it doesn't do anything, I'll relist it later on. But it was, for me, just exciting to... walk into a thrift shop and pay $3 for a Futura vase that's almost 100 years old, 90 years old anyway, a very desirable pattern of Roseville. Go and look it up. Do Roseville, Futura, study the forms, the colors and everything. Maybe you'll find one just like I did. Okay, and then the last thing, I told you that was the last thing, and that wasn't the last thing. Now this is a surprise for Vintage Vinny, so don't tell him. He watches me sometimes, but he's so busy working, he probably won't see, he's gonna get this long before he ever sees this video. Vinny does thrift hauls and whatnot. You probably watch him anyway. He's been doing them longer than I have. And he loves pinup girls and Marilyn Monroe and all that kind of stuff. So I found this for him in I found this in a thrift shop for like $2. And at first, it's just a Marilyn Monroe book. I'll let you see it. It's kind of a little, well, I don't want to say scratched on the front. But look what is so nifty about this. When you open it up, it has inside all of these wonderful sort of glassine, is that what you call it, little envelopes. And they hold facsimiles of things from Marilyn Monroe's life. For example, we'll just open this one up and pull some things out. So these look like originals, but they're not. They're facsimiles of different pieces of ephemera. This is a design of the dress from 7 Year, what was it? I forget what that movie was. Well, it says right there. So this is a replica of that. And then there are more in here. I think there's a receipt from when she stayed at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. That's what this is. You see this? There are a couple of them in there. And this says Miss Marilyn Monroe. This is from 19 something something. But it's all the charges that she made at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. Again, just facsimiles of it. I hope Vinny doesn't, if he already has this, I'm going to be mad because I'll be disappointed. And then these are like airline tickets, so I'll put them back in a minute. But they're like every few pages, you can see in these envelopes, there are just a ton of things. Look at this. This is a facsimile of, it looks like the photographs that she would have taken in one of those, you know, photograph booths on the boardwalk. So anyway, I'll put all this back in a minute. So anyway, he's gonna love that, and hopefully he doesn't already have it. All right, blah, 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 blah. 2 hours long this video is. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up right here and say I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. So long for now. Hi, Salem. Salem, can I have your baby doll? Can I have your baby doll? Oh, I can't have him? Come on. Oh, let me have that thing. Salem. Salem, can I have your baby doll? Come on. Oh, you baby. All right, I don't want it. If you're going to be a grumpy old man, let me have your baby doll. Can I have it? Oh. Okay. You can have him. I don't want that old thing.